Hi. Have you ever read comics in your life? Do you feel overwhelmed with how many comics there are and you don't know what runs or issues to get started with? Well, I have a solution for you. I have read 6 comics this month. I've read comics all my life, but I wanted to talk about the 6 that I've just started with. Some I've reread, and some I just now read for the first time. And I wanted to get into it, review them, and rank them a little bit, just to show you if you're interested in reading them, my thoughts and my negatives about them, and if you should read them or not. This is a new series that I made up for the Beyond Real Talk show. So welcome back. And without further ado, let's get started. I have a few here that I want to talk to you about. I've read 6, like I said. So number 6 that I want to get started with is the Amazing Spider-Man and the Punisher. This is a brand new run that they're doing. Obviously, I think it's because of the Brand New Day movie. So I feel like it's a little bit of a cash grab. But without further ado, let's get started with that one. If you read the title, you know. It's Punisher. It's Amazing Spider-Man together. One crazy, not so crazy, series. So basically, it follows Spider-Man and Punisher as they're fighting together in crime, almost like Brand New Day. I know they've met in the past, but with this new issue and this new run, Spider-Man, Punisher, they go around fighting street level crime. Nothing too major yet. Something I really enjoy about this issue is that you see the contrast between Frank and Peter, as Frank obviously is trying to kill people and end these crime lords' lives for good so they can't come back, but Spider-Man, on the other hand, is trying to save them for redemption. So you really get to see the contrast between the two. Peter tries to put his ideologies into Frank, and Frank at the same time is trying to put his ideologies into Peter. It's very interesting. It's very fun. I just think it's just a setup story. There's nothing major that happens in the series or in the issue except for later on into it. You get to see a lot of inner dialogue between in Frank's mind that he's trying to explain that if Spider-Man is gonna turn or if he's gonna give into Frank's ideologies and if he's trustworthy or not. And Peter at the same hand is just cracking jokes, making fun, having fun. He's having fun, and he doesn't really give a shit. Or he does. And he gives a shit about Frank. He wants to save him. He wants him to be a better hero. And you get to see this between this society that he gets his jobs from. He gets his hits from. And they're trying to explain to him that he needs to put this persona of being a hero for his own good. But yeah, I give the Punisher and the Amazing Spider-Man probably like a 6.5 out of 10. It's alright. It's nothing too major. I hope to keep reading the second issue that they come out soon. But that one came out July, I believe, in 2026, and I just bought that because of the movie. So they kind of got my ass. And number 5 here, we got our lovely web-headed hero again with the Ultimate Spider-Man from the year 2000. It's not the new Ultimate Spider-Man edition that they're doing, but this one's from 2000. It's considered one of the greatest Spider-Man runs ever made. I had to get into it. I read them whenever I was younger, but I wanted to reread them because I forget a lot about what happened. So this one, don't get fooled by the cover, but no Spider-Man in this issue. It's just Peter. It's Peter's life. It's setting up his life with Aunt May, Uncle Ben, his high school life with Mary Jane and Harry. So you don't really get to see too much action. It's a setup, and it's the same origin. Spider-Man goes to Norman Osborn's Oscorp, gets bit by a radioactive spider. You get to see that Norman is creating all these different animals to enhance people's powers and stuff like that. And Peter ultimately gets bit by one, and Norman finds out, and then he just wants to follow this guy now. But you get to see him getting bullied. He sucks. He sucks. And people just see him as a piece of trash. I think Mary Jane is a good-hearted person inclined to see Peter and show him that she cares for him. But Harry seems like he just cares more about getting his homework done and using Peter's genius to help him exceed in school. And you get to see how evil Norman is. Norman doesn't give a shit about anybody, not even his own son. He just gives about money, numbers on a page, and how his company is going to succeed, even though they got this spider that escaped and bit Peter. It's a very interesting story. I give it like a 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's a setup. Nothing that major happens into it, but we'll get to see whenever I go to number 2. But before that, I jumped the gun a little bit. I got number 20. I think whenever I was younger, I read 1 through 12, I believe. But this one is number 20. Obviously, I'm missing 1 through 19 or 2 through 19, but I'm lost a little bit in the sauce right now because I just wanted to. I got the ones with the coolest covers. But number 20 follows Peter as he honestly follows Craven's media team as they're live streaming all the people that Craven's gonna hunt. Well, not all of them, but mainly Doc Ock and Spider-Man. Dr. Octavius has been transformed into Dr. Octopus, which is a monster now, as we've all seen in the past. From Justin Hammer. Justin Hammer creates Dr. Octopus, and Doc Ock wants to get revenge on him, so they set up this live stream of, Doc Ock fighting Justin Hammer. Spider-Man comes out of nowhere, ultimately stops Doc Ock with his wits. I love it. The actions are very good. I want to show you. It's very rushed. It's very quick. It's a very quick story. But just look at that, bro. Look at that. Sorry. Feel bad there. Look at that. That is insane. It's so nice. It's so nicely orchestrated. This one came out in 2002. It's a beautiful artwork. It reminds me of the Ultimate Spider-Man video game. But you get to see Spider-Man use his wits and his genius to stop this evil doctor. And you think Doc Ock is going to win, but at the end, I don't even want to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll spoil a little bit. So a little spoiler warning. But Doc Ock has these enhanced arms, and Peter thinks he's done for until, he's smarter. He's better. I give that one like an 8 out of 10. Let's change the pace a little bit. I don't know if you guys have read manga before, but I started reading Berserk. And Berserk is incredible. Number 1, this book is very, very miserable. Not to read or anything, it's just a miserable story. It's very dreadful. You get a lot of evil-ass motherfuckers in this. Like this snake dude. Basically demons that Guts, our protagonist, wants to stop. He's a black swordsman. Sorry, it's been like it was the first book I read, but he's a black swordsman. He's trying to stop these demons. He doesn't know the real reason between right or wrong. He's in that gray area where he's kind of an anti-hero. But he does ultimately do the things he does for the good to stop these demons from taking over the world or taking over their civilization that they're in. But you see a lot of these monsters that he's trying to stop, and I really find that interesting. It's set in the medieval time, which is also a very good environment. It's dark. It's a horror book. There's a lot of supernatural shit that goes down. He has this little fairy that tries to tell him what's right or wrong, and he doesn't give a shit because he thinks anything that she says or he is going to ultimately cause him to perish or die. And he's a warrior, and he thinks that everything that he's been taught is the right way to do things. I did buy the volume 1 of it, which I believe contains like 13 issues. It's still an ongoing series to this day, so it kind of intimidates me to finish it, but I'm going to try my best. But soon I'm almost done finishing the first volume, so I'll get a review for you guys after I finish that. I give it a 10 out of 10. It's a great story. It's very dreadful. You always think that Guts is gonna lose. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but he ultimately finds a way, and he fights these absolutely awful people, bro. Like I'm saying, like absolutely monstrous people that have been possessed and just like eat people, eat their own civilization, destroy it, and they're basically like evil gods. But 10 out of 10 for that one. And then for my last little take here, I want to talk about the greatest comic I've ever read. It's the Absolute Batman series. I mean, what more can I say? It's brand new, a part of the Absolute universe, which is a basic reset on the whole DC universe. Marvel's doing it with their Ultimate series, and then obviously DC's doing it with their Absolute series. So you got Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, Absolute Martian Manhunter, you have Absolute Wonder Woman, and you have all these characters that you think you know, but in this universe everything's twisted or everything's changed for a different reason. In Batman's case, he's not rich. He's a broke civil engineer who honestly makes him an even better Batman because he uses his ingenuity and his mind to map his way around Gotham using this civil engineer job that he does. But kind of like Berserk, it's very horror based and it's very dark. And I just read the Abomination series, which I've already read online, but I wanted to buy the cover for it. And I've read the first volume as well. I haven't read past the Abomination arc, but in this arc, you fight Bane. And Bane's a freaking monster, man. And that's one of his forms. He becomes a lot. Many forms. And he's absolutely ruthless. Like, he's just a demon, dude. He kills for fun. He wants to break Batman. And what I love about this story is Bruce has so many moments where you think that he's going to give up, you think that he's going to stop, but he's a leader and he's persistent and he doesn't break. And they've tried so many times. Obviously, the Joker's a big part of it in these stories, and Batman does not break. He does not break. He's a beast. He's like 400 pounds, I think they explain in this comic, and I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of Absolute Batman. I really want to keep reading it. I'm going to keep reading it on DC Infinite, which is an app that you can use. Not sponsored, by the way, but you can use that to read it. And it's still ongoing. I feel like there'll be like 60 issues on this Ultimate arc that they're doing for the Absolute series. But then I want to go ahead and read Superman. I love Superman, so I want to see and a little insight on the Absolute Superman. I believe Superman doesn't have his upcoming with his family on Earth, so he's kind of just an alien. He didn't have, and it still shows you how Superman will still become Superman without that. Very interesting take on I think the Absolute series is better than the Ultimate series. I've read the Marvel Ultimate Invasion, Spider-Man. I do want to read the Ultimate Black Panther series as well. But incredible story. I want to show you how big Bane can get, because Bane gets pretty freaking big. He gets about like 60 feet tall. He's a monster. You think Batman's not going to beat him. Again, I don't want to spoil too much, but this is also one of his forms that he becomes. And that's the Killer Croc right there. I won't explain to you how Killer Croc got to Killer Croc. You just have to read it for yourself. But those are my takes on the comics that I've read so far. I'm going to continue reading it. I am rereading the Invincible series right now. One of my favorite comics ever made. So I'll get a video for you guys once I completely read all three of them again. And that is that. If you guys liked this type of video, just let me know. I want to keep doing interesting takes like this. I also want to review albums that come out and stuff like that. I just want to get a broader sense of what you guys want. But if you guys have any recommendations on comics I should read, or any comics that you think I should review for you to read, just let me know in the comments below. Again, thanks for watching, and thank you!